I know people are fuming due to being thrown into a third lockdown, but are we just going to pretend that a 13-year-old getting set up by a girl and 4 boys and getting stabbed to death is a standard thing now? Is this what we are condoning as normal now? In what realm of normality does a 13-year-old get stabbed in a beauty spot of Emmer Green area? The worst thing about the entire situation is the rumours that have been circulating. There's a rumour going around that the 13-year-old schoolboy, Olly Stephens, may have been killed with a samurai sword. Another rumour that circulated was that the school kid may have potentially been set up and killed as revenge for discovering that his girlfriend was sending nudes to other people. Again, these are 13 and 14-year-olds. However, I need to point out that this is mere speculation. All over Reddit and Insta and Twitter, there's been a crapstorm of pages that literally show incriminating posts pertaining to an unknown female, again being another kid. In these posts, there's suggestions that she may have been Olly's girlfriend and was part of the group that potentially lured the 13-year-old into a trap in an attempt to teach him a lesson for pissing some unknown girl off. Again, the 4 boys and the girl that were arrested are reported to be aged between 13 and 14 years old. These are children who still have a set bedtime and have to be woken up by their parents and told to wash themselves properly. In other words, what I'm trying to say is they are dependent on mum and dad. Yet, if the rumours are true, then they ended the kid's life because he got angry that his girlfriend sent nudes to another person, which is logical. And to teach Olly Stephens a lesson, some unknown girl wanted to offer £154.95 in order to get him robbed or stabbed but not killed. Just stabbed in the hand or something. This is pertaining to the posts, which may be legitimate or illegitimate, who knows. Okay, in case you didn't hear me properly, if these posts are true, then a scumbag of a girl wanted to offer £154.94 in order to get Olly robbed or stabbed, but not killed. It boggles the mind. Literally, there is no hope for idiotic people like these. Olly's relatives describe the school kid as an enigma, having autism and pathological demand avoidance. This basically means that he was a person who struggled and resisted ordinary demands of life, which could include tasks we take for granted, like getting up, taking part in family days out, or they could put on a persona to pretend to be somebody else, or have mood swings or suffer from obsessive behaviour. Again, symptoms or disabilities are not a sentence for death. So far, a girl and 4 boys aged 13 and 14 are in custody on suspicion of conspiracy to commit murder. The details surrounding Olly's death is currently a mystery, but so far we know officers were called to Bugs Bottom Fields in Emmer Green, just 2 miles from Reading City Centre, just before 4 p.m. on Sunday, after there were reports of a stabbing. Witnesses and passersby did attempt to administer first aid and then revive Olly while waiting for paramedics to arrive. One of the people that attempted to save his life was an off-duty doctor and a good Samaritan. Unfortunately, the 14-year-old was pronounced dead at the scene. From all accounts, Olly was a good person who was brought up by a loving family. This wasn't a case of someone causing havoc in their neighbourhood. This was potentially a setup where Olly was outnumbered and most likely ill-prepared or unprepared for what was likely to happen to him. This was an ambush, plain and simple. And frankly, I could care less about these people being kids. These are scumbags, and that's the end of it. I can't swear, but if I could, then there would be some choice words for them. Like, literally, I would not piss on them, even if they were set on fire. They deserve no sympathy if they are guilty of the crime. So forensic teams have been gathering pieces of evidence and attempting to ascertain what actually happened and establishing a motive. It has been reported that they have searched the home in Berkshire as the investigation continues. There is also still a police presence around the murder scene, and police have stood guard at police cordons erected at Bugs Bottom's Field. This murder will have a profound impact on Reading. To be honest, kids will be thinking if it can happen to Olly, it can happen to them too. The witnesses who've seen the attack or seen Olly lay on the ground as the Good Samaritan and off-duty doctor battled to save the 13-year-old kid's life, they will have to remember his face turning white. These are the images that will stay with people for a lifetime. Head teacher Rachel Cave said staff and students have been left reeling by the death of the popular pupil. In a statement, she says, "For a life to be ended at such a young age is a total tragedy. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family. Many have been deeply affected by this tragedy." Matt Roder, Labour MP for Reading East, also told of his shock at the killing as he attended the scene a few days prior. He said this is a quiet area, a suburban area on the edge of the town, and typically on a Sunday afternoon when the incident happened you would have seen a lot of families, people walking their dogs in the country park, a well-known beauty spot which is very quiet and pleasant. Just a word of advice, and please listen. If you have young kids, like preteens, like 12, 13, 14 and 15-year-olds, and you know that they are utter pricks, capable of doing something so disgusting like this, keep them indoors. They don't need to be out, believe me. It's really okay to think of your kids as horrible children sometimes, because that's exactly what they are. Safe.